Hi everyone. So, Eddie here again. So, if you're following along in order, we have installed Ignition and as well as the Ignition Designer and the Perspective Viewer. And now we've installed PostgreSQL and created ourselves a database. So we need to now go in and create a database connection. So from the Ignition gateway, which is at localhost 8088, if I just type that in, it'll take me there. You'll have to log in and reset your Ignition if you're running. So you can see here I only have an hour and 18 left in my trial mode, but you can reset that infinitely. I'm going to click on connections and I'm going to go to database connections and hit view database connection, create database connection. And you can see I have a number of different options. So Maria, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, Postgres SQL, and SQLite. So I want to go with Postgres, and we need the name of the database. So the overall name of the database is going to be Ignition Lab. And I will warn you, there's a good chance we're going to get this wrong. And actually, I believe this name here is what we want to call it in Ignition. So I'm going to call it Ignition Lab Data Log. And now it's going to ask for the username. So this is the username that will allow Ignition to log into the database. So again, I save that in a text file. You can see all of my videos I'm making here. So you created this username and password. So you're going to give it the username, which for me is just Postgres, but it could be whatever you created. And the password, we're going to hit embedded and we're going to type in our secret password, which again, in the real world, you do want it to be a secret because you don't want to be hacked. Then down here under connect URL, it's again going to go over localhost. The port 5432 is the one that Postgres naturally uses unless you told it to use something else. In your installation process, if you did tell it to use something else, put the number you told it to use, but if you use the defaults, it should just be 5432. And we want to use Ignition Lab because that is the name of the exact database that we are going to be using. And then we're going to go ahead and hit create database connection. And we're going to see that it is valid. If you do not get a valid, you want to just double check to make sure all those things that you added, the username, the names of things, are correct. So the key thing is the username, the password, and this URL. If that's not correct and exactly right, it's not going to be able to get into it. And you want to make sure you're getting into your database that you made for this project. So if it's valid, you are good to go. And we're going to, in the coming video, start to build out our Ignition. We're going to leave this alone for the time being, but it's good to get this set up now because that kind of gets it out of the way so we can start using it. So when we start building an Ignition, we're just kind of moving through it. We're not doubling back and getting this set up after we've already started setting up pages in Ignition. So again, database setup can be kind of tedious, but if you do it right and do it at the beginning, it makes your life easier later on.